Today I am going to go through my latest Fabmo haul so you can see kind of the type of stuff that I like to get there and what they have. If you don't know, Fabmo is a nonprofit here in the Bay Area in Northern California that is dedicated towards keeping basically fabric and tile and wood and all types of like designer samples out of landfills. So they take, you know, if you go to like a carpet store or like a fabric store and they have all those booklets with like all the different fabric samples and stuff, so they keep all of that out of landfills, and they have this nonprofit where they house all this stuff, and then people come in and they repurpose it and reuse it for crafting and making and all that type of stuff. I know about this nonprofit because my mother actually volunteers, and she's a huge crafter herself there, so that's how she got involved, and then I learned about it, and I think it's just a really great way to, you know, be a crafter and be a maker, but actually not contribute as much to kind of, you know, landfill and waste. So I like to try to repurpose these things into all the crafts that I do. That's not to say I use Fabmo material exclusively. I don't. I go to places like Michael's all the time, but I do like the fact that Fabmo exists and that I can use it and that I do use it for a lot of things. So I'm going to take you through kind of what I got there this last time and just kind of give you an idea. Now, one of the things that I got were these like dozens of these pre-cut pieces of synthetic yarn. These were intended for that kind of latch hook rug making. I don't know if you've ever seen that. I feel like it's kind of something that, you know, grandmas do, where they have that big kind of lattice netting and they use a little latch and they like pull pieces of yarn through and they create rugs, and I think I actually have a pillow made out of it. That's not what I'm doing with this. I'm actually making a whole bunch of pom-poms. You can see right here, I've started making them. When I saw these little packets, that was my first thought, was that this is exactly how you make those type of yarn pom-poms, except I don't have to wind the yarn around my fingers. I can actually just kind of tie it around these already pre-made little yarn pieces. So that's what I'm gonna make out of these. This was something that when I said I would take the entire box of them, the woman who was running the cash register area was ecstatic, because I could tell that they'd had this box of all these like weird little pieces of yarn for months. So I took everything that they had a whole bunch of different colors, and I'm going to be making a bunch of pom-poms, and then I will have a kind of pom-pom tutorial on the garlands and the wall hangings I'm going to make out of these later. That was the first thing. And then the other thing I was looking for was wallpaper samples. So I got a whole bunch of different wallpaper samples. I like to do a lot of paper crafting out of these. I make envelopes and I make paper flowers, and I use pieces of them in a lot of my paper crafting and my pen pal stuff. As you can see, they have wide range of you know, types of papers and colors. So I just got a whole bunch of really pretty ones. Sometimes I'm just so in love with the actual design and I have no idea what I want to do with it, but I just can't stop myself from getting it. That's the problem with going to Fabmo, is that you end up just, it's overwhelming, and you end up with way more than you even have ideas with, because you just fall in love with certain things. And you can see that some of these are just so beautiful, you can't help yourself. What are some other fun ones that I got? I got a lot. Let me see. Oh, this one's pretty cool. You can see that it's, oh yeah, you have a little dog. I have found from my previous experience there that wallpaper tends to be pretty heavy in kind of the blues and the purple color theme, so I was looking specifically for other colors, which is why I kind of have a lot of pinks and greens right now. This is a fun one. It's really metallic, so I'm going to see if this actually works well for what I have in hand. Huge pile. This one was a fun one because it's nice and red. It also has really cool kind of design on it. So I have some ideas for that. And then this was a nice kind of paisley design. And then another paisley, but in kind of a blue green instead. So you can see here, I got a lot. Eesh. Oh. Yeah. All right, what else did I get? Oh, they actually had a bunch of these little paint chip, you know, booklet sample things. They had some loose pieces as well, so I got some of these, and then I just grabbed a booklet. I have a couple different ideas for these. Again, this is kind of just my paper crafting hoarder obsession that I just can't help myself with some of these pretty papers like this, and they're just, I mean, it's just aesthetically, you know, this beautiful, just kind of, all the shades of colors are fun. Even if you don't have any plans, they're really a nice way to kind of add some color to your desk if you just kind of want to put them, I don't know, in your pencil box or something. Oh, I got some other bigger pieces of wallpaper samples. This one has this kind of botanical design on it that I thought looked like papyrus, and my husband really is into Egyptology and Egyptian stuff, so I think I might actually make him a journal cover out of that. And then this other big piece has some really funky kind of like, they're almost like medieval. This one's a dragon on it. I mean, that's cool. And then this is Viva la Nation. I think it's supposed to be French. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this, but it was just so cool, and I thought these kind of big, you know, pictures could be cool in some ways, so it's a problem. There's so many cool things there. Don't know how to say no. There's that. And then the other big thing, so they have a lot of wallpaper samples. They also have a lot of fabric samples. And these fabric samples tend to all come in squares. And so they have squares of different sizes. This is actually kind of a nice big one. I really just kind of liked this pattern and the color. Here's another one that's kind of a nice botanical print. And then this one was a really pretty kind of pink botanical print. So those are some bigger squares. They also come in smaller squares like this. This is just a really pretty kind of, what is this? This is actually polyester, but it's, you know, kind of velvety feel. It's a nice yellow color. Just a little kind of blue botanical. These yellow and gray circles. Oh, I really liked this one, this kind of chartreuse green and white, and then actually the back side is a fun reverse of it as well. And then there's this one. It's just cool. Oh, geez. So apparently I'm really drawn to this like kind of chartreuse color because I got a lot of things in this, but that's okay because I like it. And then what else? Oh, I got this really pretty flower or kind of lemon-esque looking one. This one is this really pretty coral color. The reverse is also cool because it's the reverse of the gray and the coral. This one is this pink flower with some gold, I guess it's a pink background with a gold flower on it. Really pretty. It's a nice kind of lightweight, what is it? It's actually linen. The cool thing about these little samples is that because they are designed as samples for people buying this, they give you little descriptions of like what it actually is. So you have the designer or the maker's name if you care, but it also tells you what it's made out of. So that's just kind of a cool little thing if you care. Oh, this is a pretty kind of watercolor print. Floral. I guess there's almost leaves on that. I liked that. And then this one is just so cool. It's this big leafy tropical leaf on a yellow background. What else did I get? Oh, so right now there's kind of a I've seen it all over Etsy and Instagram where people are making these kind of wreaths out of old embroidery hoops. So instead of going and buying embroidery hoops, which seems to be what a lot of people did, they had a couple there, so I got this one. This one's a nice kind of medium size. It's probably about 8 inches in diameter, so it's a nice size. And then they had these really funky old metal embroidery hoops as well in different shapes. So this is a nice oval one, and then this is a small little circle. So I was gonna do some crafts out of that. Thought that was handy. Instead of buying them, you could just get them there. And I've been making a whole bunch of felt flowers, and so I wanted to see if they had any felt there, and they did. They had some. Now obviously these are all, the other way that they get material is people donate it, so it's a lot of people who are just kind of cleaning out their craft houses, their craft rooms, or people no longer want to keep it, or someone they know died and they're cleaning out all their stuff. So you end up with a lot of kind of scraps of pieces. So these are all just kind of scraps of felt, but again, I'm not buying new stuff, I'm just reusing some old stuff. So I basically took whatever felt they had. They didn't really have that much this time, but got some felt, so I'm going to be making some more felt flowers and stuff out of that. And the cool thing for me is that they do just get a lot of random donations and random stuff that people don't know what to do with. So you kind of get to look at things in a different way and decide how you could actually use that. So they had this whole drawer full of these little pipe cleaner trees that obviously were probably used for some sort of Christmas decoration. But I have an idea how I kind of want to use these. I literally have a whole bunch of them. I think I'm going to try actually spray painting these different fun colors and doing a little project for them. So I just have a whole bunch of options to choose from and just test it out and see if it works. And then the other thing that they have a lot of is tile samples. Again, because if you go and you want to redo your kitchen or your bathroom, you need little tile samples. So they have them in all different shapes. I kind of like these little rectangular shapes. I got them in a whole bunch of different colors, and I have a couple different things that I'm gonna try to use out of these. I'm not going to show you every single one because I did get a whole bunch of them. But just like the wallpaper and the fabric samples, on the back it actually tells you all about it. So if you care, it'll tell you the glaze and the color and whatever. Some pretty colors. Alright, so that is everything I got this trip at Fabmo. I will link the directions in their website down below, so if you're curious about checking them out, I highly recommend it if you live in Northern California Bay Area or you're going to be here for a vacation or anything, to check it out. Everything you get there is unique, and which I like, that it's just different. You know, you're not going to see anything you make out of these products anywhere else in a store or even on anybody else's like Etsy store where they make handmade items, and that's what I really like about it. All right, see you guys next time. Bye.